Good morning, everyone. 9 a.m., 32 degrees on this Wednesday. I'm Melissa Holmes. We've got a half hour left of Daybreak here on WGRZ Plus. And we begin with Niagara University, which continues to mourn the loss of a student. Police say a 22-year-old student was killed in an early morning crash in Niagara Falls on Tuesday. A 20-year-old student who was riding in the passenger seat was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. Police have not released their names as the families continue to be notified, but they did provide some details about the crash. Police say it happened around 1 in the morning on Tuesday at the intersection of Main Street and Cleveland Avenue in Niagara Falls. The student was driving a 2015 BMW. It spun out of control, hit a light pole and a chain link fence. Christopher Sheffield, the vice president for student affairs at Niagara University, said that they have notified their students and school community of resources available to them as they navigate the loss.
We've let our students know of the support resources that are available immediately and will be available on an ongoing basis through counseling services, through our campus ministry office, and similarly on the employee side, providing for and attending to the emotional needs of the breadth of our community is part of our initial focus.
University held an informal gathering last night. They said they do plan to hold a more formal memorial in the coming days. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash, but they do say that speed and road conditions and inadequate tires could be contributing factors. We'll stay updated and bring you more as we learn more. In other news this morning, we are learning more about the Buffalo police captain suspended with pay in connection to the investigation into Lance Woods, the Buffalo police officer accused of shooting and killing his wife. Now, a document obtained by 2 on Your Side identified the captain as LaShondra Roach, and it shows she was suspended at 8 p.m. Sunday, February 15th. A timeline recently released by Buffalo Police accuses Roach and Woods of having conversations at the D District station at 7:52 p.m. on Saturday, the same day that Alexis Skitchelis was allegedly killed inside her Lewiston home. The timeline shows that Woods left the station with his children just minutes after talking with Roach. It's still unclear what they said and why Roach was suspended and whether she remains on suspension. Meanwhile, disciplinary records obtained by 2 on Your Side through a Freedom of Information Law request show 21 past incidents involving Captain Roach from 2009 through 2021, 2 of which resulted in suspensions. The Buffalo Common Council's Police Oversight Committee met to question Interim Commissioner Craig Macy about several issues, including the recent end to the Foot Patrol unit back in January. Lawmakers say that they were surprised by the change and expressed concern during their conversation with Macy. Majority Leader Leah Halton Pope raised the issue during the oversight meeting after reports confirmed that the Foot Patrol unit ended January 2nd. Despite previous criticism over overtime costs, some lawmakers say the public supported the program, which was credited with helping drive record low crime last year. Acting Commissioner Macy explained why it stopped.
The concept is very good. The method that they do was very well received. However, the actual implementation was very tough to keep going, especially during the winter months and when we can use that task, essentially fulfill that task through the district officers.
The Foot Patrol unit was set to end January 2nd under a union agreement, with union officials saying they supported it but were never asked to extend it. Commissioner Macy says the unit could return this summer. A former City of Lockport employee is facing felony charges for allegedly taking thousands of dollars in SNAP benefits that she didn't deserve. Niagara County investigators say Paula Halliday Travis turned herself in on Friday. She was the former secretary to the mayor of Lockport. Authorities say that she collected more than $3,000 in SNAP benefits illegally between April and September of 2024. She's been charged with grand larceny, welfare fraud, and filing a false instrument, and is scheduled to return to court next month. 2 on Your Side has reached out to the City of Lockport for comment, but we haven't heard back yet. The Cheektowaga Town Board unanimously approved a decision that will limit police officers from cooperating with immigration enforcement. The ruling does, however, allow police to get involved when there's a criminal warrant or court order. The town also will not fund or give consent for the use of town personnel, facilities, equipment, or information to assist in civil immigration enforcement unless it is in the interest of public safety.
Our Cheektowaga police are doing a fine job. They are hardworking and they're very well trained. And our chief and the whole department is very transparent, and they are already following this.
The city of Buffalo has also passed similar ruling that will limit how and when local police will work with immigration enforcement operations. Well, today you could land a part-time game day job at the new Highmark Stadium for next season's Buffalo Bills games. The Bills guest experience team is holding a job fair, and they're hiring for positions like ushers, greeters, and hospitality staff with on-the-spot interviews available. The job fair runs from noon until 7 right at the field house on One Bills Drive. And it is now 32 degrees, 9:05. We're going to take a look at the forecast today. Everyone at the construction site really does need good weather throughout the rest of this winter, Patrick, and into spring in order to keep on working on the stadium.
I don't think this March coming up is going to be like last March. Last March was mild and very quiet. I think there's going to be lots of ups and downs over the next couple of weeks and various weather systems moving through. I think there will be periods of cold and warm as we head into March, not kind of the just stable warmth we had, it seemed like last March. All right, snowfall totals, Dunkirk 68 inches, this is for the season. Buffalo, we're now up to 85, Niagara Falls, almost 56 inches of snow. Places like Colden and Ellicottville, more in the 160 to Ellicottville has had 165 inches of snow so far this season. And we're not done. We've got on Future Look here some scattered snow showers that are expected this late afternoon and evening. Little bursts of snow are still possible. A minor accumulation, but again, a little pocket of moderate snow may move through during the evening drive, and some of those snow showers continuing overnight tonight. And then into the day tomorrow, we're going to see partly sunny skies. Temperatures, though, cooler. We go from the 30s today to the 20s tomorrow. And the winds will get gusty, 35 to 40 miles an hour in the wind-prone areas downwind of Lake Erie. So temperatures around midday today, mid-30s, and then getting a little cooler as we head into the afternoon with some snow showers. Tonight, a colder night than it was this morning, down into the 20s, and highs tomorrow staying in the 20s with the mix of clouds and sun. Okay, then as we look in the long range, this is kind of a peek into next week. This is the 6 to 10 day forecast. And notice temperatures still below average for like the first week of March, okay? So that's, Sunday through, let's say, next Thursday, Friday. But there are signs that once we get closer to mid-month, the Ides of March, St. Patrick's Day, a much warmer weather pattern takes over, potentially mid-March, but then potentially getting colder again by the second, third, or the third of March into early April. You don't really say it like that. If you're breaking it down into thirds, there's 1/3, there's 2/3, then there's the third. What do you call that? Anyway, the second trimester of March could get colder again. Okay, partly sunny, some snow showers today. You were of little help, Melissa, thank you. Mostly cloudy, snow shower, and then I don't know what you call that. Clouds and sun, colder, 27. Long range forecast, mild into Friday. Friday looks just beautiful to end the work week. Sunshine, low 40s, low to mid 40s on Saturday. Sunday, snow showers. There's beginning to become a signal towards maybe a chance of some snow on Monday with a mix Tuesday into Wednesday, something we're going to watch. When you have a kind of a fast jet stream rolling through, timing out weather systems on day 5, 6, and 7 can be a little tricky. So we'll have updates, of course. But one thing's for sure, colder on Sunday with a few snow showers, Melissa.
Okay. Thanks for sorting that all out, Patrick. Appreciate it. And we've got a lot more coming up. We'll talk donuts and sabers and bills and music. Patrick, you don't even know about this one. He'll enjoy the conversation about the Music Hall of Fame inductees coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back, everybody. It was a really late night for USA men's gold medal hockey team as they were honored during the president's State of the Union address. They actually got a 2-minute bipartisan standing ovation during the address, a bipartisan standing ovation, rare occurrence. You see right there, though, Tage Thompson, he was there for it all, so it's still unclear whether he'll actually make his way to New Jersey and be ready to play with the Devils tonight. This is going to be the first Sabres game in 20 days and also the start of a 25-game push in what's left of the regular season to try to finally end this playoff drought. 14 years. As the Sabres go into this home stretch and a wild card spot, there's plenty of reason for optimism.
We should be excited. We're in a good spot. I mean, we've worked hard to get to where we're at. Now you got to deal with that. That's our next goal, is to deal with these games one game at a time, knowing that all the teams around you are clawing in or trying to create a little bit of space. We've earned where we've got to. We've played good hockey. We've got to continue to play good hockey. We've got to realize that this is a moment we've all talked about since the start of the year.
Sabres and Devils, just one of 8 games on the schedule tonight as the NHL season gets back underway. The puck drops in Newark at 7 p.m. Hopefully all dug out of all of the snow that they have, but it'll be really cool to see Tage Thompson against Jack Hughes, who had the game-winning goal. He plays for the Devils, so they'll be face-to-face. Interesting story about the State of the Union. Do you know why they went down the stairs and were standing there?
No.
Because that's kind of odd, right? Like when everyone's being recognized, they're standing up. Throughout the evening, President Trump was recognizing a lot of people in the gallery. Well, the guys didn't have chairs because every single gallery seat was already taken up. And there was no more. Did you lose battery?
Yeah, the battery's dead. So
okay.
I will speak loudly.
Or I can just talk. Or I can just talk, no problem.
Give the viewers what the viewers want.
You just sit there and look pretty, Patrick. So anyway, all of the gallery seats were taken up, so they had to figure out last minute how to get the players in. So that's why they walked down the stairs and stood there and waved. The president did kind of nicely end some of the controversy and said the women will be coming to the White House in the future. They declined their invitation.
I have an idea.
You had to.
I'm getting my microphone.
You're getting your microphone, or you can get RF7 behind the desk. You can grab that too. And of course, you have to walk across the camera in order to do it. I'm not on a one shot. It's like just give the viewers what they want, Patrick. It's okay. Anyway, so Sabres tonight. Tage Thompson, of course, we do not know if he'll be playing, but we will find out. All right, let's get to the next thing. We're going to toss a break. We'll come back. We'll have Patrick back here in this chair. Come on in.
I got a mic now.
You have a mic. Fantastic. Welcome back, everybody. 9:16, and Daybreak loves celebrating the people who help Buffalo and Western New York live up to its reputation as a city of good neighbors, and that includes a Clarence woman who turned 2 strokes into a mission to save others. Kelly Knabb is a mom. She's a nurse practitioner. She's a volunteer firefighter. And now she's a leader with the American Heart Association. And she's sharing her story to raise awareness that heart and stroke disease can happen to anyone at any time, at any age. She's one of the selfless among us. She starts her mornings here, pushing through another set, heart pounding, surrounded by community. This particular class, though, is special. It's a fundraiser for the American Heart Association. And for Kelly Knabb, this mission is personal.
In 2013, I suffered a mini stroke while I was driving in the car with my kids, and that's when my life kind of changed.
The pediatric nurse practitioner had no warning signs, no family history, no risk factors. Doctors later discovered a congenital heart defect, a hole in her heart. She recovered, even ran 3 half marathons. But 5 years later, at age 40, another stroke.
I was advised to have the hole in my heart repaired. But it was really after that procedure and that event that I realized I need to use my story to help other people. What happened to me was not your typical story, not your typical face of stroke, but it did happen to me twice.
Everything happens for a reason.
Kelly turned survival into service through speaking publicly and writing blogs.
Continue to share my message of hope, strength, and knowledge about stroke and heart health.
And first volunteering, now working full-time with the American Heart Association and chairing Buffalo's Go Red for Women campaign.
I just think everything in my life has led up to this. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that what happened to me, could have been so much worse, and it wasn't. And I'm grateful that I'm able to use that story to help other people.
Last year, she even became a volunteer firefighter, determined to show up for others in crisis. Her journey is teaching an important lesson to her sons.
I think it's been important for them to see me be brave and stand up and get out there and share my story.
Her message to other women?
As moms, it's easy for us to put ourselves down at the bottom. We're taking care of everybody else. And so I think it's important to be aware of your risk factors if you have any, your family history, get regular checkups, but most importantly, if something doesn't feel right, get checked out.
A survivor, a firefighter, a mom, turning her second chance into a mission to save lives.
I will not stop sharing my story and trying to make a difference.
And Kelly, as I said, is the chairwoman of the Go Red for Women reception and the whole campaign. The reception's tomorrow night at the Hyatt. It's a night to raise awareness and honor those we've lost and celebrate women like Kelly who have turned pain into purpose. So many of these selfless stories, it's turning pain into purpose, turning tragedy into triumph, turning survivorship into service. And we see that time and time again. And Kelly's a
have your test be your testament.
Ooh, Patrick, I like that one. Did you just come up with that, or did you know that
I heard that once before.
That's a good one. I'll have to use that in my next story. But Kelly's fantastic. I don't know how she juggles everything she does, but she is a wonderful advocate for the American Heart Association. It's been a huge month for her with the Go Red for Women month, and we wish them all the best of luck, and we'll be following Kelly's journey as she continues to advocate for heart health and awareness. Okay, we're going to switch gears now to something that you can really talk about this morning. It might be the rest of the show. We've just found out the 17 nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is interesting that it's rock and roll because many of these are not rock and roll. 10 of the 17 have landed on the ballot for the first time. So we've got the Black Crowes, Jeff Buckley, who is a first-time nominee. Is he Hallelujah?
Yeah, I know the name. I can't place it.
Is that?
No, I know the song.
That's Jeff Buckley, right? But I don't know anything else other than that.
Okay.
Mariah Carey, she's a multi-time
She's Christmas
nominee.
carols.
No, she was my 90s.
I know.
Growing up, my CD player.
Phil Collins.
Okay, so Phil, first-time nominee as a solo artist.
Right.
But he's previously been inducted as a member of Genesis.
Genesis in 2010.
Yeah.
Oh, that induction ceremony. Guess who inducted Genesis into the Hall? Fish.
Oh my gosh, you were just in your glory.
Two worlds collide.
That's awesome
that was
for you.
The band Fish.
Happy for you.
Yeah.
Melissa Etheridge, who's coming here to Western New York to perform this summer. Lauryn Hill, another one of my 90s
Isn't her
CDs.
album considered one of the best albums of all time?
Yes.
What's it? It's something, The Journey of Lauryn Hill, or something like that.
Of Miss Hill.
Yeah. Anyway, it's an incredible
How do I not know
album.
this? Yeah, she's so talented.
Right.
And she was great with the Fugees, but this is individual for her.
Oh, In Excess.
Yeah, but you skipped over Billy Idol.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I love Billy Idol.
Now In Excess for the first time.
And the Maiden. Nice.
I don't know Maiden. Do I know Maiden? Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden was a very popular late 70s, 80s heavy metal band. They were known for their character, Eddie, who was on the cover of all their albums. It was kind of this Skeletor feature. Oh. They are an incredible band, and they set the stage for so many other heavy metal bands to follow. So they're one of the big classics.
Such a diverse class.
Absolutely.
We're not even done yet. So we've got Iron Maiden, Joy Division, New Order. We've also got New Edition, which is another first-time nominee. Oasis, which the brothers came together to perform again.
Right.
I love Oasis. Pink, first-time nominee.
Oh. Very talented.
She's talented, especially live.
I just don't think of rock and roll, but that's fine.
None of that. So many of this is not rock and roll.
It's fine.
Yeah, some of her
she's
bangers
awesome.
are bangers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Sade. How is she not in it already? Shakira's a first-time nominee.
Okay.
Patrick. Luther Vandross. First-time nominee.
That is hard to believe.
Isn't that shocking?
Yes.
Again, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't know. Is there a general music?
Yeah, but Luther is one of those guys too that paved the way for so many artists in R&B to follow.
Yes, and so many of the people you hear today say Luther was an inspiration for me. And then finally, Wu-Tang Clan, which again I would have thought that they would have been in by now. But the nominees, all of these are in the performer category. Ultimately, will be selected for the induction in April. They'll be revealed in April, I should say. They'll be revealed in April, along with additional inductees selected in categories for musical influence, musical excellence, and then another non-performer award.
What's interesting, I mean, like people like Phil Collins, I mean, he had this insane Genesis career. He took over from Peter Gabriel. Then he goes out and does solo stuff. And I'm sorry,
and the Disney stuff.
And the Disney stuff. But in the 80s, pop radio, every fourth song was a Phil Collins song.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then my generation just knew him from all of the Disney
But
classics.
then he was in a jazz big band. He was in a jazz fusion band called Brand X. That he's so talented as a drummer and a musician. So good for him.
Daughter, Lily Collins.
Lily Collins, and his son, Nick Collins, is also a drummer, has his own band. He's a drummer. Oh. And when Genesis toured, and they were here in 2022, I think, at the Key Bank, Phil sang, and his son was on drums.
Oh, how nice.
It's really cool.
And Lily is Emily in Paris, for those of you who don't know. A really popular Netflix show.
Yes.
So fun morning to hear about those nominees. Got to wait till April to find out who's going to be inducted. But quite the diverse list there.
I mean, how do you pass on any of those?
Well, there's a couple that I'm like, you can wait on that one. You can wait on that one. But there's some that many of these are very, very deserving.
Yeah. I mean, but like Sade, she was huge.
But now what has she done? Like, if she has her time passed, if she isn't in already, why should she get in now? She, of course, had some
big-time controversy years and years ago, but doesn't mean you can't be in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know. I wonder what's taken so long.
Well, speaking of music, you're going to want to watch for this guy and remember this name because he was on The Voice last night and hopefully will continue on with The Voice. The premiere was this week, and Lucas West of Fairport, which is near Rochester, but he's a senior at SUNY Fredonia. He really stole the show last night. Take a look. He picked a perfect song, didn't he?
Perfect song.
Okay, so he didn't have just one chair turn. He had two chair turns.
That is Kelly Clarkson.
First was Adam Levine, and then was John Legend, and he decided to go with Team Legend. We wish him the best. If he looks familiar, he's played the anthem on the keyboard at a couple of Bills games, including a playoff game last year. And he's just fantastic. And song choice is so important when you're auditioning because he's got like the deep, really like hearty notes and then the falsetto and then showing what he can do on the keyboard.
And it's a song everybody knows.
Right.
By the way, a quick little urban legend about that song.
What?
I've heard this, maybe it's an internet story, but I think it's true. At a Prince concert, Prince is performing. He sees Elton John in the audience. Yeah. He goes up to the piano and goes, dun, 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 and then just stopped out of respect for Elton John. And then he went into it, like he stopped what he was doing.
I see you, I want to recognize
you.
Dun,
dun, dun, on piano, and then just stopped. And then
you could just play those notes and
everybody knows.
And it is, you saw like Legend and Levine like nodding their heads. You have to do that for that song.
Totally.
It's such a great song.
It's a great song. And a perfect choice for him.
Yeah, and I think Team Legend will be great for Lucas West. And so I just started following him on social media so I can see his comings and goings on The Voice. But hopefully he will continue on for a long time. I mean, we had Joshua Vacante and Cammie Clooney and Sydney Sterlois, who almost won the whole thing as a 16-year-old.
Oh, that's right.
And then Letter to Elise, that group was on, didn't make it too far last season, but it seems like Buffalo is always represented. And so we'll be really happy to watch his journey. And also, speaking of watching the journey, Chef Darian, Darian Bryan is still on that Fox cooking show,
with
Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay.
Ah.
And so he's doing pretty well as one of the professional chefs on that show. That's on Thursday. So we'll continue to follow his journey as well. It's always fun seeing Western New Yorkers give a shout out to Buffalo on these national shows. How much time do we have left? 90. Okay, let's just do one more weather as we're all looking ahead to Friday when the weather will be nice, Patrick. What are we looking at?
Friday, yes, okay.
Sunshine. You promised it.
I had to refocus my brain energy. Yeah, today kind of, you get some snow showers. Thursday, okay, better. Friday's the day. It's the end of the week, into the weekend, sunshine, 40s, awesome. Saturday, not half bad. And then on Sunday, kind of colder again. And I think next week we're going to have some mischief to deal with early next week.
Good sports week for Buffalo. We've got the Combine today. We're also going to be looking at Red Murdoch, who is he was on the UB Bulls. He's going to be making his appearance and be kind of showing off what he can do on the Combine. And, of course, Sabres tonight, so we will have a wrap-up of that with our sports team tomorrow, hoping to get some momentum going.
This is going to be a nervous month.
Every game is going to feel like a playoff game for Sabres fans right now who have waited so long for this. And then the Bandits also really fighting for a playoff spot after losing last weekend's game. They play on Friday. Or Saturday. Friday or Saturday. I'll figure that out. But anyway, lots of Buffalo sports. We love that. And we love you for joining us. Thanks so much. And we will be back here tomorrow for Daybreak from 4:30 to 9:30. Have a great day.